This book changed my life, and I think it has the ability to change yours too. Let's get into it. This is The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron, and this book is over 30 years old, but every couple of years it resurges in popularity for very good reason. And now that I'm taking my creative journey very seriously, I thought now is the perfect time to follow the 12-week curriculum that this book teaches. And if you've read The 12-Week Year by Michael Lennington, then you know how transformative 12 weeks can be. 12 weeks, 3 months, 90 days, however you want to calculate it, that time frame has the ability to transform you into a completely new version of yourself. So we are going to be doing a week by week deep analysis on this channel, and I implore you to follow along. Even if you can't get the physical copy of the book, the amount of gems and knowledge that will be in this video will suffice. As long as you digest it properly and apply it to your own creative journey, I promise by the end of these 12 weeks, you will become a completely different version of yourself. So let's get into it. Chapter 1, Recovering a Sense of Safety. This chapter is the initiation period, and it is not fun because it forces you to do the shadow work to unlearn and unpack all of your limiting beliefs on what you think an artist is, and completely restructuring the foundation on what it means to be an artist. And so the author is forcing you to face the version of yourself that is standing in the way of you reaching your full creative potential. And this version of yourself is what the author describes as the shadow artist. So together, we are going to do the proper steps to understand the root of the shadow artist and taking the proper tools to reshape our sense of safety and rebuilding the foundation so that we can step into our full creative potential. So let's begin, shall we? Step 1, the censor. The negative limiting beliefs that you have about being an artist do not come from thin air. They usually come from our parents, our teachers, our peers, when they say things like, being an artist is impractical, you need to be realistic, an artist is not a real job. These statements may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time, they become your internal voice, as the author describes as the censor. The censor is the little voice in the back of your head that is hypercritical of everything that you do. It tells you things like, you can't be an artist, you're not creative enough, you're too old to be an artist. An artist, that's immature. You can't do that. That is the censor. But you have to understand that the censor is not the truth. It is simply an echo chamber of all the criticisms that you've heard throughout your life. It is not reality. What you have to do is bring the censor to the surface from out of the shadows so that you can name it, recognize it, and dismantle it. Also understanding that your inner artist is an inner child. So therefore, it is not your fault that these negative projections were placed onto you, but it is your job to unpack them and rewrite them. The author states, creativity is play, but for the shadow artist, learning to allow themselves to play is the hard work. Learning to let yourself create is like learning to walk. Baby steps. Because of all of the negative beliefs that we have internalized throughout our lives, it causes us to critique ourselves way too harshly, and that stops us from acting on our creativity. We have to do the work to recognize our own inner enemy and see this version of ourselves is what is standing in the way of reaching our full creative potential. So we have to recognize our own internal enemy, the censor, and understanding that it is not reality. It is simply a belief system. It is a belief, therefore it is not fact, and it can be rewritten. And so for this step, to truly be able to recognize the censor for what it is, I want you to get out a sheet of paper and write down all of your negative core beliefs. For example, some very common negative beliefs are, if I'm an artist, I won't make enough money. If I'm an artist, my parents will be disappointed in me. If I'm an artist, people will think that I am da 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 da. That is what you need to put onto the paper, because you need to see it so that you can get it out. Whatever you think is a blockage of why you cannot be your full creative self, you need to write it down. And that is going to bring us into step 2, the nurturing. So, like I said in the previous step, your inner artist is a child. So you have to nurture it like a child. And now that we have a list of all of our negative beliefs, we are going to flip the script and rewrite them into positive affirmations. Yes, positive affirmations. I know that may sound woozy, but I promise you have to do these steps so that you can rewrite the internal voice that is blocking you from your creative potential. The author states, affirmations help achieve a sense of safety and hope. When we first start working with affirmations, they may feel dumb, hokey, or embarrassing. Isn't this interesting? We can easily, and without embarrassment, bludgeon ourselves with negative affirmations. I'm not gifted enough, not clever enough, not original enough. But saying nice things about ourselves is notoriously hard to do. It is so easy to beat ourselves up and to be hypercritical of everything that we do, but it really takes real work to start thinking positively about our creative endeavors. So, rewrite and reshape your inner voice. This step is so important because you are basically training your brain to stop agreeing with the critic, the censor. You have to do this step. So, for every negative belief that you wrote in the beginning, you are going to flip it into a positive affirmation. For example, if you wrote something like, artists don't make enough, and if I pursue my creative endeavors, I'm not going to have enough money. You're going to flip that and you're going to instead say, I deserve fair pay and I deserve to live a rewarding creative life full of abundance. That's just one example. A couple other examples are, I am a brilliant and successful artist. I have rich creative talents. I am competent and confident in my creative work. Those are just a few examples, but I do implore you to write some on your own that are personable to you. Please also remember that during this step, the censor, the negative critic in the back of your mind, is going to perk up and try to rebuttal everything that you are saying. Do not listen to the censor. Don't listen. Step 3, the roots. Now that we've understood the censor, the negative beliefs, and rewritten the script to do a little bit more positive thinking, we need to get back down to the root of these negative beliefs and do the detective work to realize where exactly are these negative beliefs coming from. For this step, the author describes it as the time travel exercises. So for this step, you're going to make 2 lists. On one side, you are going to label it the monsters, and on the other side, you're going to label it the champions. Under the monsters, you are going to list all of the people and all of the experiences that hurt your confidence over time, whether that be a teacher that told you you couldn't sing, or whether that be a parent that told you that art is useless. Write it all down under monsters. And for the champions, you're going to write down all of the people that encourage you, whether it be small or big. You're just going to write it down. The purpose of this exercise is so that you can visualize the roots of all of your inner belief system and stop giving so much power to the monster side, and remembering that there are people out there that believe in you, that encourage you. This is the important part of the exercise. Once you complete this final step, that will be the completion of week 1, and the 3 steps are as follow. Number 1, the critic, the censor. Number 2, nurturing. And number 3, the roots. Once you follow these 3 steps, this will allow you to rebuild the foundation of your inner artist. An artist can be whatever you want it to be. Whatever creative endeavors that you use to express yourself, that is artistry. Whether it be photography, a musician, a dancer, whatever it may be, however you choose to express yourself, that is your inner artist. Hold on, we ain't done yet. We're almost done, but we're not done yet. We do have a little bit of homework to do every single week. We have 2 weekly assignments that we have to do every day and every week. These are the things that we have to do every single week, 1 through 12. This is not specific to week 1. This is the homework that we have to do for all 12 weeks. On a daily basis, you are going to write morning pages. Every morning, you write 3 pages. This is not about quality. It is about dumping every thought in your head onto paper. Complaints, anxiety, dreams, random nonsense. And by doing this daily, you quiet the censor and you clear space for creativity. The morning pages are basically like journaling, but in a creative way. And lastly, you are going to take yourself on an artist date. This is a weekly endeavor that you do by yourself. It's like a small adventure so that you can replenish your creative well, whether that be going to a bookstore, going to a nature walk, going to a museum. This is described as the artist date, once a week by yourself. And that is it for week 1 of The Artist Way. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I really do hope that you do everything that I said in this video, because I know I am, and I can already feel the difference. And don't skimp on anything, please. If you do all the things that I said in this video, I promise you, you will see a change in your creative journey. So follow along, subscribe, like this video, share it with somebody that you also want to join on this journey so that we can be our fullest potential. All right, I will see you guys next week for week 2, recovering a sense of identity. All right, love you, bye.